I have here in my notes from a call that I had earlier today in regards to how we track our sales agents' efforts. Now, it doesn't matter what industry that you're in. If your salespeople have to make phone calls to convert from a prospect to an appointment to a client to a check, then this is for you. If you have a sales team, you could have an inbound call center. Maybe you've got a call center overseas. Maybe they're people in the office. Maybe they're remote all over the country. If anybody is on the phone, there's two things that I would be tracking right now, and I'd write this down. Number one, I believe that you need to track call actions and call outcomes. And they're really simple, and I want to break these down really quick. From a call action perspective, there's really only two. There's dials and there's answers. So you need to know with your entire sales team today, week to date, month to date, year to date, how many calls did I make and how many people answered the phone. Now, does an answer consist of a wrong number? The answer would be yes. Does an answer consist of somebody tells you to go pound sand? The answer would be yes. Does the answer consist of somebody who picks up and right when you start talking, hangs up on you? Yes. If they say hello, it is an answer, right? So rule number one, track every time somebody makes a dial, track every time somebody answers the phone. Here's the second thing that I wrote down, call outcomes. Now, we've seen funnels all over the place and everybody that we've consulted with and coached and built systems for. And the majority of people out there, the majority of sales leaders out there overcomplicate the sales funnel. And I want to give you a really simple one. We've seen this. We see HubSpot use this natively. I believe Keep uses it natively. A bunch of people in the Salesforce world use this natively. But I want to break it down so it makes sense. There's really only 6 phases somebody can be in if you're in any level of sales. And I want to give those to you right now. Again, these are call outcomes. So number one would be subscriber. And this is just somebody that goes to the website, likes what the blog posts are, likes what the content is, and they agree to subscribe to get more emails about that content. Now, you might think that's a lead. We would tell you that's not a lead because there's no intent there. The only intent that they showed is that they wanted to subscribe to the email. So that's phase number one, subscriber. The second thing that we would cover is what's called a marketing qualified lead, or said a different way, MQL. A marketing qualified lead is a person that took some action on the website that says, hey, I'm a little bit more interested than maybe just subscribing to the email. So maybe they registered for a webinar, maybe they requested a call, maybe they downloaded a PDF through a Facebook lead form. They took some action that disclosed to you some level of specificity that they're a little bit more than just receiving emails. That's a MQL, or a marketing qualified lead. The third thing that I wrote down would be a sales qualified lead, or SQL. Now, the difference between a marketing qualified lead and a sales qualified lead is that somebody on the sales team has said, this person is a legit lead. Yes, they subscribed to the email. Yes, they registered for one of our webinars or a PDF download or a lead magnet. And now a salesperson got on the phone with them, qualified them over the phone, and has now said, this is somebody who is qualified and ready to buy. This is our most, other than our client, which is our next phase, this is our most valuable pool of people in our CRM, our sales qualified leads. These are people that are ready to buy right now. Somebody needs to get them to the closing table. The fourth phase that I wrote down is client. These are people that are in the fulfillment or delivery phase of your business. So if you're in the real estate spot, a client may be an active listing, or maybe it's a buyer that's looking for homes right now, or maybe they're under contract. They are actually a client of the business, right? We generalize all of those together, but here's the key. They either just made a purchase and you are delivering on that purchase, right? So if you guys are in the e-com space, or maybe you're in the consultant space, or you're a doctor or whatever, this would be somebody who's engaged with you. Maybe they've already paid the retainer, they've paid the money up front, and whatever they paid from, you're in the process of delivering that service. If you're in the real estate space, maybe they signed a buyer broker rep, or maybe they signed a listing agreement or an investor agreement, and you're actively trying to sell their home or locate their home. That would be the client phase. The fifth one that I wrote down is raving fan. Now, somebody moves over to the raving fan phase once they've completed the purchase and you've delivered on the promise that that purchase secured. So if they wanted to list their home, this would be after the home's physically sold, it's gone, they're moved out, they've already got the check, everything's done. Then we move them to the raving fan thing. If you've sold them something online, maybe it's just a simple, they purchased a $20 course on how to learn how to basket weave, right? Once they've taken the course, or the course has already been delivered, then we're going to move them to raving fan, because the fulfillment of what they purchased is no longer applicable. The last stage is the stage that I hope nobody ever has to get into, and we call that stage lost. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, Steve, but listen, my business is totally different. And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about that? And I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to disagree with anything you say because every business is very unique. However, I would tell you, if somebody is a sales qualified lead, meaning I got on the phone with you and you and I are having a conversation about real estate and you say you want to list your home, but maybe you can't list till August. That's a sales qualified lead, but that person can't transact right now because we need to wait till August. In that case, I'm going to leave them in sales qualified lead, but I'm going to assign a task to them to follow up accordingly. And if you're a great salesperson, what you're probably doing every day is you're going to all your sales qualified leads and you're going line by line and you're saying, this person deserves to be here. 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 Now, what happens if somebody is a marketing qualified lead? They took an action on the website, but you have a sales call with them and they're kind of still in the nurture phase. We're going to move them back to being an MQL. They are a marketing qualified lead because they are not qualified by a salesperson yet. So we're going to roll them back to marketing qualified leads. So that way the internal sales team or whatever your sales process looks like will continue to follow up dynamically based on the actions they take on your website. I hope this makes sense. The most successful companies I've consulted with, the most successful sales teams I've worked with are ones that have a very simple phone funnel. Everybody understands how it is. There is no gray area and they just stay the course. That's how some of the biggest sales teams I've ever seen scale at a very high level. I'll give those to you again. Call actions. They either dialed or they answered. Very simple. Call outcomes. Number one, they're a subscriber. And really nobody on the call is going to be a subscriber. They're really going to come in off the web for that. The second phase is marketing qualified lead. Third one is sales qualified lead. The fourth one is client. The fifth one is raving fan. And the final one is lost. Lost are the people who are like, hey, we're never going to do business with you. Don't ever call me. Take me off your list. I can't stand you, right? We're going to move them to lost. And obviously somebody on your team is going to delete them from the CRM because we don't want to continue to market to those people anyway. But that's what it looks like. If you can make your sales process this simple, I promise you, you will see sales scale immediately with your sales team because it simplifies the process. Any questions, let us know. We'd love to help. If you're interested in us coaching you or your sales team to greatness, there's links below in the description to do that. Remember, simplification is the name of the game. We'll see you on the next one.